So you are what I guess you're a majority in your community, probably, but in across the country, you would be considered part of a minority, Hispanic background. And I mean, look, the reality is, people like what they know, and as a result, sometimes people, there are sometimes racial biases and so forth. But from your own perspective, I mean, you've got a professional life. You've been in this country. You've been different places. Is racism as bad as it is, in your personal opinion? Is racism as big a problem as it is being projected?
Melvin, I can only speak from experience. One of the examples that I like to use when talking to the youth or just to folks in the community in general is, as a police officer, when a call for service came in, not once did somebody's skin color, did somebody's race come into play when I was responding to a call for service. You respond because it's your duty to serve and to protect. And again, I can only speak to you from personal experience. And, it's so unfortunate that we are now in a place where everything is viewed through the lens of race. It doesn't matter what you're doing, where you go, what type of conversation, are happening around you. Race seems to be, the focus. And I think that we need to shift, right? We desperately need a shift, and we need to get away from that because, this is very dangerous. And so when we talk about critical race theory, in order to believe in it, you have to agree to the underlying assumption that all white people are essentially bad, irredeemable, racist, and as a result are the root cause of all of the world's problems. And when you're asking me from my opinion in terms of, is it as bad? I've known of certain, cases. I've had family members experience, racism, but this has completely been blown up way out of proportion. For those of us who are believers, it's true. We are all bad and fall short of the glory of God, white, black, brown, everyone. And that sinful nature within us is the root of our problems, to be sure, but it's not just subject to white people. And that's what critical race theory attempts to do. It literally by default paints every white person as the primary benefactors, if you will, of the entire world system, and that they have used this system to their advantage and to oppress everyone else, and that then this is used to justify every example of why others, can't succeed. It doesn't matter if you're dirt poor, or a prestigious family like the Kennedys, you are to blame for my problems. And as a Hispanic woman, I have an issue with that because I don't believe in that. My parents immigrated to the United States from El Salvador with nothing, but they're both now very successful business owners. They've taught me that with hard work, dedication, humility, and with faith, you can accomplish anything you want here in America. And at the end of the day, the question that we have to ask ourselves is this: if America is so racist, if America is so bad, why do people by the thousands continue to flood our borders because they want to come to this country? You know why? Because this is the greatest country in the face of the earth. That's why, because this country is the land of opportunity, because this country is welcoming, because this country will give you the resources, everything that you need to overcome, to succeed if you so wish to, and if you have the desire and if you're willing to put in the work. And that's why I will never support any ideology, that backs critical race theory. That's why I will never, allow anybody to lump me into a category of that victim mentality, because that is just not the case.